Hey, everybody, we're still in Maryland.
Woohoo! You guys were way too fast this time.
All right, we're bringing you more because we got like another 5 questions. We're gonna keep doing this as we keep getting questions.
Keep asking. We got 2 hours left.
First things first. Shout out Eat Gaming. Shout out Eat Gaming. I don't want to see you with a poopy My Little Pony.
No,
Matt.
Shame.
That isn't made by Eat Gaming.
Shame.
So, let's get started. First of all, Stuart, I already did a shout out. I'm not gonna do another one.
Watch part 3, boys.
Watch part 3 if you want your shout out. Okay. First question first. Nate, get started.
Okay, what do we think is the most overhyped deck / clan? Right now, okay, first off, we say that to be overhyped, it has to, have the hype, but it doesn't live up to it. Like Shadows, we don't consider it overhyped because, it was like, oh, they're gonna be good. Yeah, they are good. That's what it is. If I had to say any deck is overhyped right now, it's Messiah's, just because, like Amnesty, it's a $40 card. Like, there's hype. People are excited. It's going on, but it's not topping. Like, people aren't winning consistently with the deck.
But they are with great nature.
They are with great nature. So, yeah, Messiah's most overhyped. Great nature, underhyped. There you go. Next.
All right, so we've gotten this comment twice now.
Hey.
What would we like to see in a Chaos Breaker Dragon Revival Legion?
Nothing. I want to see nothing.
I had a little bit of fun with this one because I had to decide what exactly would make this card good and how do you add power in a Legion mate that comes off the base of an old card. So, like Dodix had like synergy with Dote and it gave you options. Vermilion lowered the cost. Well, Chaos Breaker was already such a good utility card that how can you give it only more utility? And I came upon this. So its name is Starvader Chaos Messiah Dragon, and the skill is while this unit is in Legion, blah 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 blah, Bushiroad, important text, stuff.
Poorly
all
translated.
All the cards in your hand, in your soul, and in your damage are treated as if they had Starvader in the name. This lets Chaos Breaker always be live, but it also lets you use the new Messiah support.
Yes. And
you're allowed to play the best cards with the best effects without worrying about your, the Revenger problem. Imagine if Revengers had that, or a card in Shadows who had that text, you could play literally everything you want. It would be your dad's shiny tool set. It would be like you had the whole golden shovel set from Animal Crossing.
This would be like your dad's factory.
Your dad's factory. That's how it would be. So don't ever give Shadows that Bushi. But for a Chaos Breaker Revival Legion, that would be okay. I would be okay with that. It would also have the skill that every time you lock something on your board, countercharge 1. So it fuels itself, and you can use the Messiah rear guards instead of the old, Starvader, Poopsicles, You can play the new cards and actually get something out of it. So it's half Starvader, half Messiah, all utility. And then you could also just use Chaos Breaker skill too, because, Legion mechanics, whatever.
Yes.
So what stride or Legion Revival would we like to see from our own point of view?
All right, here we go.
Raging for it.
We had to dig in the depths, okay? Because we talked Spectral Duke, but we were like, but what would it really do? We talked Alfred, but we already know it's coming, so there's no point in talking about that. Instead, we decided to deepen the old crevice of Nubatama. And we decided we want a Voidmaster Stride.
Yo.
Give me that Voidmaster Stride that says, I don't know, on swing, Persona Flip, maybe CB1. Your opponent has to discard 2, maybe 3 cards. I want to do 3 just because I want to make it OP. Your opponent has to discard 3 cards from hand.
Or they can't guard.
Or they cannot guard.
So it punishes you for playing it early because they can just let it hit and be okay. And no passive crit or this gets ridiculous. But late game, it's a massive finisher, and you've got 2 tries to go in. And if your opponent had a lot of hand, you're probably not going to make it. But if you've been able to wear them down with your other Tama support, that will actually be good this time because Prey's new cards.
Yeah.
This will be a lovely finisher for you.
Yeah. Like, how many cards in hand? 4? Oh.
The game friend. How many heals are on top of the deck?
So we really like that idea. But we also got a question about GBT05. Ryan, throw us down with that.
So far we've seen that OTT, Narukami, I believe we've heard about Pale Moon and Link Joker.
Yeah.
So what do I think is gonna happen in GBT05 with the release of these new cards? Honestly, I think the meta is, I wouldn't say devolving or evolving. It's not really good or bad. It's kind of neutral. The game has become a very King of the Hill style meta, where cards get support and then become playable, and then other clans can support and they beat out those old clans and they become the meta, and then the clans previously come back and beat them again. So it's a very like, okay, Narukami got a Fighter Collection support, we're back in the meta, let's top 8 a couple of times. Shatters are like, no, Legend deck GBT03 out of the meta. And then Narukami comes back and says, GBT05, I'm back. And then you're just like, all of the clans are kind of rumbling at the top, where, you know, I don't think we're going to have a tier 0 deck, but it's going to be a very, like, 4 clans are good, those clans are bad, 4 new clans are good, old clans come back. And so it's a very, like, it's going to be a never sell your cards kind of format, because your cards are coming back in 3 months anyway. It's going to be a very fun time, I think. I'm actually kind of excited to see what happens when we've got a whole bunch of clans receiving ridiculous or exactly the push they need in support, and coming and trying to beat each other out in the meta overall.
I think there's also some extra caveats here. I think, like, one, this is purely speculation. We have no spoilers from these sets. We have no idea what's coming.
It could be GBT03 Kagero poop.
But remember, Pale Moon's coming. So who knows what they're gonna have a trial deck after this and a set. Who knows what they'll bring to the table.
As long as I don't have to go back and buy BGO7 triple rares again.
Like, also, who knows? Maybe Link Joker's gonna get like 3 cards in this set and they're all gonna be poop like Kagero was in GBT03. Like, sometimes you just get poop. So we don't know, but I think that overall, when he's talking about the meta, completely accurate. I think it's gonna happen. Another question we got was about our opinions on Mega Colony, and I'm gonna make this quick because we are about to go through
a toll lane.
Yay!
So
we're in the south; those don't happen.
Toll lane all vehicles must use toll. I don't know idea what this means. I'm gonna slow down now. So Mega Colony, it's not OP, but it's getting there.
It's on the edge. We're on the edge of that cliff. We can't get too much closer. That's what's going on.
I mean, not allowing your opponent to not ride is pretty devastating. Luckily, that skill is GB2 and Persona Flip. If it wasn't, we'd be in some very we'd have a very different conversation. But Destroyer is still Destroyer.
Yeah. I mean, you're doing that twice before you do this.
Here's the thing, is that Destroyer, and Ryan's touched on this a few times, Destroyer
doesn't have enough text.
Alone turned a deck. Outside of Destroyer, there are no newish cards in that deck. Currently. Like, yes, after GBT04, there's going to be new cards added. But, like, right now, this deck is good. And it exists with cards existing previously with 1 new stride in the game. So, as we throw more into the mix, it's only going to get more busted. So, right now, very powerful. Not quite OP yet, but it's toeing the line. So, maybe we'll see it soon. But, honestly, guys, we're about to hit this toll road. Send us more comments. Shout out to In Gaming.
Yep.
Stuart, please.
Stuart, please watch the video. Shout out. We love you guys. Keep sending the comments. Subscribe. We'll be back maybe after we're done with this toll road. Peace.
Cool. Bye.